How can we make sentence in foreign languages? When we learn foreign languages, we wonder how we speak the foreign languages properly. But we can speak our mother tongue, native languages, and then also we can make sentence with the native languages and our own languages. So every people and every person can make sentences in their own language. It means it's very important that is both and then otherwise, and then someone who learn Korean and Korean is a foreign language for them. When I learn English, English is a foreign languages for me. Then and the relatively we are doing the same situation. If the one language I finished and then making using a second language or foreign language, then it's much easier to learn other languages. Now I'm learning Vietnamese. I use Vietnamese. I try to make a sentence in Vietnamese. So and then I believe I can make sentence even though there are many mistakes, and also it's limited when I make sentences in many contexts, and but not easy to hold the content, not easy to make all kinds of sentences, but I can make sentences. So using the properly the basic sentences and then sentence by sentence, and then with many sentences, I can make a paragraph, I can make a story, and then if I have an intention or to express some content or the story, it's the same as so, and then um yeah, get to the point. How can we make sentences in foreign languages? And then easy because and each language has patterns. For example, in Korean, similarly, I mean, Korean is a unique language like Japanese, and then each language, each sentence has particles like subject, object, and then even the verb or some pattern. The order is very important in grammar, but the unique pattern is much more important than we make a sentence in each language. So let's see, and then in English, um, English has a pattern. Even Korean has patterns. I don't care about this how Korean have patterns because now I teach Korean with my language partners and then learning English or learning Vietnamese. And then now I'm a little interested in the patterns of Korean language. But in fact, I just speak Korean without pattern because Korean is my native language. But in English, when I studied about in English, I got a chance to teach English, so and then I made the English categorized in many patterns. I have 45 patterns in English. So and then the 45 patterns here, and then there are four noun forms like singular, plural, and defining article, and then just to use noun itself. There is pattern like a book, books, the book, and love. Some kind of only the pattern. If we don't make mistake in this pattern, we are successfully reduce the mistakes in building sentences, in making sentences. So, and then the 12 tenses in English as a unique languages have many expression about the tenses. Otherwise, other languages is very simple. So future, present, past, it's almost not many. So just but English have 12, 12 tenses as well. And the 16 I have. The patterns I have 16 now. And also verb forms. Verb forms very important. And then verb forms are very important. Verb forms is very important. And then because verb forms and the many ways in English, there's a simple be adjective, preposition, or phrasal verb, idioms, and then so there are so many things, and then we have some each way, and then there's many patterns. I got maybe six or, and then means 12 for 16, 22, 22 patterns, and also with a noun forms. And a noun form is very important. Only noun or the present noun phrases, and a noun clause. And using this kind of pattern, or imperative clause also can be used, the position of noun. The position of noun is only noun, phrase, clause, and then on and noun on so only noun position have a using a noun or phrase or clause clause, and then imperative clause, and then the sentence, and then we have 527. And then adjective I mean that describing something, describing word, describing sentence, the situation, it is used by adjective, same pattern with the noun, adjective itself, the phrase, and then the kind of phrases and pattern and clause, and also something relative clause as uh describing is also the grammatically the same situation, same pattern. Grammatically is the same patterns. Grammatically is the same pattern. Grammatically is the same pattern. So it's very important. And then adjective has 27, and here you go about 6 and then 33. And then now and then 12. Not sure that. Pronoun. Okay, and then a noun form is pronoun as well. 34. And then and also the adverb forms, adverb itself or phrases, and then clauses, and then with the conjunction and the sentence and combined with this. So and then almost 45 patterns can express pattern of English. So and then if we know about the patterns, so and then yeah, okay, we can make sentence in English, just like this. And I can make sentence in Vietnamese. I truly understand about the pattern of Vietnamese. No, not exactly, but no need that because just build make sentence in Vietnamese. I know there are something wrong, but I can change it. The more I learn, the more I get correct the sentence without making mistakes. So and then the mistake is no problem because the more use I use, the better I use. So and then I believe that. And then the pattern of Vietnamese, my target language, is almost little bit in English or the grammatically, and then a little bit is similar with in English rather than Korean. A similar English rather than Korean because and also some. And then one thing is when we make a sentence, there are two patterns make sentence: the spoken language or written language. We speak sentences in many cases, and then when we speak language, a language, we don't have to space. We don't have to just we use the language pronunciation, accent, intonation, or combination in the sentences. So, and then this is very important. if we live in the country where the speak the languages, we can use easily the language many times because the real life make we speak in the situation. Also, we can listen a lot and we can build the sentences much easier then. But when we study in uh, easier when we live with that countries. But when we study in a limited area, like in Korea, I study Vietnamese, no chance to listen to and no chance to speak the sentence. Only by doing online language exchange, I can get a appointment. I can get a opportunity. And also, and then I have a meet and some Vietnamese work in Korea, and then I can communicate good, but it's very limited. Just we are talking about expression, some words, Korean, Vietnamese, because and then they are beginners in Korean, so and then cannot communicate with each other. Even my Vietnamese also not advanced, not intermediate, step two. So and then not, but I have many chances to about it. And there's one thing is when we speak, we make sentences. That's different. And also the one thing is about much more important thing is we make sentences in written language. We write a sentence. It's quite different when we write a sentence. Each language has a unique grammar pattern. Even Korean with the particles, and then we use 조사 with the particles. We make sentence word and the particles. And then English, and then each word can space. And then Vietnamese, and then each syllable has a space. So quite different. Chinese and Thai language, and also all the languages stick together. There's no space. There's some pattern of language like Sanskrit or something, and then quite different. And then as a foreign learners, sometimes it's quite difficult to understand about, and then the sentence. But when I studied with my language partners, once he reported in Korean language, Korean without space. Normally we have a space. But when I read that, and then those without space, I can read well. No problem with understand about it. I realize that. So, and then native speakers, they started learning written language after communicate, after they can express all the sentences. Already they set up and then they can use it. But as a foreign language learners, we don't have any ability to comprehend, express the languages. So, and then that is a problem because we cannot listen and we don't know about the word or sentences, you know. So sometimes like English, each now in each word space, it's easy to understand. But I like Korean with the particle, not only word but also particle make some complication for learners to who learn Korean. That isn't one problem. Even the Vietnamese also saying that one syllable space is a little difficult to understand that. And also is Chinese and Thai is much more difficult to read, understand. We cannot remember. And where can we divide the word? So and then, and then, as I mentioned, native speaker can read that, no problem, because they already have in mind in the spoken language. So, and then one option is when we make sentences, we try to make sentence our speaking. And now I make speaking. Now the AI is make the quick way, and then also, and then using the voice and writing, and then easy. So, and then we can try to make sentence using our own voice, using our own voices. So, and it's much easier, and then we can make more sentences in 1 minute rather than in writing. So, and then it's very, very useful. So here you go. And then the conclusion In conclusion, we can make sentences in foreign languages with some patterns, even though we make many mistakes, and the important thing is that we can make a sentence naturally. Hope to do that very well. Okay, today I talk about how to make sentences in foreign languages. In terms of our own languages, we can already make sentences. So, and then we figure out someone who learn our language is also foreign language. So, comparing to the two languages that we learn, and then we can make sentences. It's possible. Some mistakes, okay. And then combination, you try to find the pattern. One more thing. When we make a sentence easily, there are two ways. The first, numbers and 5W1H. Numbers are very, very useful and also very easy to make sentence. Number is a combination of, actually number is a word, but number is that is symbols, and then very important. That is symbol. Also, the 5W1H is very useful when we make sentences. 5W1H very useful one when we make sentences. They're very easy. So, and then first you try to make sentences with numbers using 5W1H, and then make a question, also good, and then answer the question, and then something like this, and then you can make sentence, you can build a story, paragraph, and then etc. Hope you go, and then we can successfully make sentences in the future. Now I talk about English, the topic about how can we make sentence in foreign language. Shortly, I will read it 4 page, and then 5 page, and then 6. Okay, got it. This page. Okay. This I can make. AI can give many ways to opportunity to use. We express and then getting some contents from AI, and then we can practice by ourselves for ourselves, and then about the learning, and here and that good way to some will make a contents. Now I can copy with this with my contents, and then join this and so and doing paste, and then what AI report about my story. Here's your revised content with improved clarity in structure. After that, I'll translate into Korean and Vietnamese. How can we make sentence in foreign languages? When we learn a foreign language, one of the most important questions is how can we speak it properly? But here's the truth. We already know how to make sentence in our native language. That means we already have the ability to build the sentence. This is a strong foundation. So to someone in learning Korean and it's foreign language for them, and I'm learning English or Vietnamese as foreign languages, we are in similar situation. Once we understand how to make sentences in one foreign language, it becomes easier to learn another. Like now I'm learning Vietnamese, I try to make sentences even when I make many mistakes. My vocabulary is limited and I can't express complex ideas yet, but I can build basic sentence by sentence. I can write paragraph, even eventually even stories. Patterns are the key. Each language has its own pattern. For example, Korean has a unique subject, object, verb structure, uses particles, and English follows subject, verb, object, other is the auxiliary verb and the clear tense. Vietnamese also has its own unique word order and the structure. I've categorized 45 sentence pattern in English. These include the singular, plural noun, verb tense, present past tense, verb forms, base, continuous particle, adjective, adverb, sentence type, question, imperative, description, thousand, noun, relative, conditional, essence. When we understand these patterns, we can reduce our mistake and build sentence more competently. Spoken and written sentences. Spoken language is usually more natural and flexible. We speak with rhythm, stress, intonation, and combine words naturally. In contrast to written language allows more strict rules. For example, Korean uses particle to indicate roles of words. English use word order and punctuation. Vietnamese use space between syllables, which can be hard for learners. Some languages like Chinese and Thai don't use space between words, making reading and writing harder for the learner. But native speakers learn spoken language first. Only later do they learn how to write. So for learner, focusing on speaking first is powerful. AI tools now have correct our speech and convert it into writing, giving us more practice. Practical tip, there are two powerful tools to start making sentence easily. Number and 5 to 1 H questions. Use the number to express time, quantity, and sequence. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. These give structure to your sentence and idea. Answering these questions will pull sentence naturally, like, what did you do? What did you eat? When did you go there? Why do you like that? You can turn this into story, conversation, or even essays. And final thought. We can already make sentences in our native language. So when we learn a foreign language, it's not about starting from zero. It's about transferring that skill and adapting to new sentence patterns. Don't worry about mistake. Just keep making sentence. The more we practice, the better we get. Okay, finish.